What a win for the New York Knicks. You're watching Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green, and that is why people believe, I believe, and I believe that you believe that this team can win the NBA Finals. When the New York Knicks play their A-plus game, there aren't many teams, if any, out there that can beat them. Appreciate everybody for clicking on today's show. If you're still hyped up about that Knicks big win over the San Antonio Spurs, hit that thumbs up icon because we got to talk about it. First and foremost, I got to give a huge shout out to Mikal Bridges. It is not something I'm trying to hide behind. I have been very critical of Bridges since he put on that New York Knicks uniform for the first time. And the reason I always am so critical is because I know the type of player that he can be. The standard that he has set for himself is so high and is so critical to this team's success. And you saw that firsthand today. 25 points for Mikal Bridges. He was aggressive. He was looking for his shot. And then he continued to make all of the little plays that you see on a night in and night out basis. He was not afraid to let it fly. 9 3-pointers up tonight, 5 of them fell. Is he always going to shoot 55.6% from three? No, but I loved how aggressive he was. And in today's game is a perfect example why you need Mikal Bridges to be an impact player. The Knicks fall down big early. They cannot put the ball in the basket. The San Antonio Spurs came out with a game plan today to blitz Jalen Brunson at every single opportunity. Brunson came off a ball screen. There were 2 people there. Brunson had like 1 shot in the first 5 or 6 minutes of this ball game until they made those first substitutions, and then things started to turn around for them. Bridges is able to take the ball out of Brunson's hands. He's able to go make some tough buckets. A team high plus 21 tonight. Mikal Bridges was the difference maker in this game. Every single time it felt like the Spurs were fighting back into it, clawing back into it. We're going to make it a game once again. 25 hit a big shot. 25 had a big steal. 25 made a play in transition. Mikal Bridges was awesome in this ball game. Something that I don't really think many teams are going to be able to handle if he does play like that. I was impressed, obviously, with the production that he had, but with the way that he went about it. He was aggressive. How many times did we see in transition tonight? He went coast to coast and finished at the rim in a strong and forceful way, not fading away, not taking a 6-foot fall away baby J. We saw him throw it down in transition. We saw him lay it up through contests in transition. It was awesome. When Bridges was on the floor today, the New York Knicks had a 120.9 offensive rating, and they had a defensive rating of 90.9. If the Knicks are able to play like that when he is on the court, they're going to go a long, long way in this NBA playoffs, which I am expecting to be one of the better NBA playoffs that we have seen in a while. The Knicks tonight as a whole, 123.9 offensive rating, a defensive rating of 93.7. Jalen Brunson, he was unbelievable in this game, hit big-time shot after big-time shot, and after a slow start, he kind of found his footing, and he was able to work some different matchups, and he was able to just do the things that Jalen Brunson does so well. I know there's going to be a lot of chatter about Josh Hart and how the San Antonio Spurs came out in this game daring him to shoot, playing that ghost coverage on him with Victor Wembanyama essentially being a rover, if you will, and Josh Hart was not able to really make an impact early. At one point, he was a minus 15 in this ball game. He finishes, though, at a net 0, and the Knicks actually had a better offensive rating than defensive rating when he was on the court. And I thought in that third quarter where you had to come out of the half strong, and how many times have we seen the Knicks come out of the third quarter slow? Josh Hart was on the ground. Josh Hart was making plays on defense. He was getting to the rim. He was making the extra passes. He was finding a way to impact the game without the shot falling. And that is why I will always have the most respect for Josh Hart. He still ends up with 10 points. He gets you 10 rebounds. He has 7 assists. And he just finds a way to always have his hands and fingerprints all over the outcome of a basketball game. Just one turnover for Josh Hart as well. I know he's going to be someone that people are going to talk about. Man, we can't play him. He can't shoot, blah, 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 blah. He found a way to impact this basketball game. I also want to give some credit and a lot of credit to Karl-Anthony Towns as well. I thought he was good. I thought when Brunson was out of the game, he found a way to kind of carry this offense at times. And that's always going to be the secret recipe for the Knicks. I know it was in limited minutes, just 11 minutes, but when Karl-Anthony Towns was on the floor and Jalen Brunson was off the floor, this is insane, and it's going to be skewed because this is when the Knicks went on those big runs. The Knicks had an offensive rating of 160 and a defensive rating of 50. That would be by far and away the best offensive and defensive rating in the NBA. The Knicks were a plus 21 in the Karl-Anthony Towns on and Jalen Brunson off the court minutes. I thought the ball moved well, and I thought everybody had a big-time impact in that. Jose Alvarado played a good brand of basketball as well, a 148.4 offensive rating when he was on the floor, 76.5 offensive rating for San Antonio when he was on the floor, a plus 20 in those minutes. And OG Anunoby, I know you got postered by Victor Wembanyama, but you did a great job defensively on him. There were times where there was a stretch. I don't remember if it was in the second quarter or the third quarter. He banged a three. He stole the ball from Wemby. He had a three go in and out. Then he had another steal, and then he went down after a Josh Hart full court pass and threw it down. He flexed his muscles of why he is making $40+ million per year. And I'll continue to say it. OG Anunoby is the second most important player on this team. He is the biggest swing player when he's locked in, when he wants to play, when he's able to make that impact that he can on the defensive end. The potential he has, this team is special, man. It really, really is. And in the last couple of minutes on today's show, I know we've talked OG, we've talked Bridges, we talked Brunson, Josh Hart, we've talked Towns. Shaman had some big moments. Alvarado did what he always did. Mitchell Robinson was awesome as well. He was a major piece in the run that the Knicks had to start that second quarter. But I got to give a huge shout out to Mohamed Diawara. There's been a lot of conversation of should it be Jeremy Sohan getting the minutes at that ninth man spot? Should it be Mohamed Diawara? I don't know how you can't just lean towards Diawara. He's shooting over 40% from three on the year. He gives you another big body on the perimeter. He moves well for his size. You feel his length on defense, and he gives you that confidence to where if you go from a Jalen Brunson drive to a swing and Diawara catches it on the weak side, he's going to let it fly. He does not have any hesitation to letting a three-point shot go up when he has room to get it off. He is just scratching the surface of who's going to be 20 years old. He's got an NBA body. The Knicks might have found gold with him in the second round. They're going to have to find a way to get into a long-term extension this offseason. I'll worry about that in the offseason. But Mohamed Diawara has to be a part of the rotation night in and night out. And then the question becomes, what are you going to do when Deuce McBride gets back? He's got to be in the rotation. You could have a bench of Jose Alvarado, Deuce McBride, Landry Shamet, Mohamed Diawara, and Mitchell Robinson. That's 10 deep. You're not going 10 deep every night in the playoffs. It's a good problem to have. It's going to be interesting to see how Mike Brown finds his way to sift through all of this. But, man, the performance the Knicks put on today is why they are so frustrating. Their highs are just as high as everybody else, and their lows are just as low as everybody else and every other bad team in this league, losing to the Indiana Pacers, having to win the game in the final minutes against the Chicago Bulls earlier this week. When this team plays their A game, they can win it all. Can they do that for 4 games out of a 7-game series? That's my biggest question. But, man, a lot of fun watching this team play tonight, today, this afternoon, whatever you want to call it. They found a way to overcome the 7'4" obstacle that is Victor Wembanyama, and they got a big-time win on a big-time stage under the big lights of MSG in prime time. Proud of this team. I thought Mike Brown coached a good game today. Fired up, man. Got to find a way to keep it going and continue to get better and control what you can control. Continue to just play the brand of basketball. I knew the Knicks were going to be fine in this game early on, even when they fell down big, when there was a Josh Hart dive on the ground for a loose ball. Mikal Bridges dove on the ground for a loose ball in the first 2 minutes. Yeah, they couldn't find a way to put the ball in the basket, but that eventually became something that they could do, and they did it well today, and they walk out with a big-time win. Shout out to the Knicks. Let's go.